to hour 2. It is the last Friday of the year. It is going to be our last ugly truth of the year with Sooyoon in the studio. So get ready for that. In the meantime, let's start off our second hour just right. We've got none other than Boys Republic with 넌 내게 특별해, You're Special to Me. Followed by B2B with You're So Fly, 넌 감동이야. We have Sooyoon in the studio after this.
You're listening to Kpoppin, every day 12 to 2 p.m. The fastest K-pop news with DJ Isak.
Ugly Truth. It's Friday, and that means we've got Sooyoon of Royal Pirates in the studio. Hello, Sooyoon.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, and today's the last ugly truth of this year.
It's the last Friday of 2014.
Wow.
In the
No
next
way.
couple of days, we're going to be saying Happy New Year.
What are you doing for New Year's Eve?
Working?
Aww.
I'm going to be in the studio.
I think us too, actually. I think us too.
But
Yeah.
for me, we used to have this live special here at Arirang Radio,
Yeah.
where we would either go out to City Hall and we would have like a concert or something.
Mm-hmm.
So up until I think 2 to 3 years ago,
Yeah.
every single year on the 31st, I was either at City Hall or in the studio here
Oh.
from 10 to 1 a.m.
Wow.
So from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
each and every year. But I loved it. Because we came to the studio, nobody was here. We had food. We like ordered pizza.
That's
like,
awesome.
Nice. And then, we would open up, not a bottle of champagne. Because we can't open alcohol in the studio. We open up that apple
The
cider.
fake one?
Yeah, the carbonated apple cider.
Right.
We'd pop a bottle of that. We'd be like, Happy New Year. But we don't do that anymore. So I think I'm just going to be watching all the music programs, probably relaxing at home.
That's
I
good
might
too.
go somewhere with my family, but I'm not sure. Not sure. So it's
Yeah.
the last
Yep.
one. You're going to Thailand today.
Yeah. later
Nice!
today. Yep. We're having actually our first concert in Thailand too. So
Nice.
I'm very excited, and it's gonna be warm there. Yes, I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, of course it's going to be
Yeah,
warm there.
yeah.
But be careful because as soon as you go and then come back,
Yeah, it's gonna be cold.
it's going to be cold and you get
Right,
sick.
right,
So
right.
I know that you've been constantly suffering with a cold like me. So
Yeah.
please be safe. But our first story today is quite unique. Sooyoon kept asking me a lot of questions before we came into the studio about this topic.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be talking a little bit more about it later. But
right.
it's, I think, a common story, but it could not be one. But anyways, it's from Lily from Mexico.
All right. Hello, Isak and Sooyoon. The brother of my best friend and I had been friends since a very long time. And lately, we've been a little more close than usual, and I think I'm starting to like him. And I think he likes me too. However, my best friend didn't like any girl whom her brother dates. She always found fault of them and talked to me. I think it is a kind of a brother complex. Now I don't know what to do because I would like to date this guy, but on the other hand, I don't want to lose my friend. What do you think I should do?
So it's A or B again today. A, try to convince your best friend that you're a dateable person and go out with him. Or B, choose your friendship instead. Now, Sooyoon kept asking me questions about this earlier.
I mean, because I feel like it's like a fantasy, a common fantasy for younger guys where they kind of like see their friends' older sister.
sisters.
Yeah, because I think this happens a lot. Maybe in junior high, because the older sisters are more mature.
High school.
They look like women. And but for me, I never had that experience, and I've almost felt like it's kind of like weird for me to like my friend's older sister, because I would feel like I'm like going out with my friend, you know what I mean? Like somehow. I mean, there's like a there's a connection there. So I never had that experience. So I can't really relate to this story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sooyoon asked me earlier, he's just like, what about you?
Yeah.
Do you think that you'd be able to start liking your best friend's brother? And I was like, I think so. Well, because it's not so much about that I'm trying to like him.
Yeah.
But if I'm hanging out at my best friend's house, obviously I'm going to see her older brother a lot.
Yeah.
And I was telling him this actually when I was younger on my dad's side. I know that people probably think I'm going to be weird about this, but on my dad's side, I have tons of cousins. I'm the youngest out of my dad's side of the family. So I have, I think, almost 20 cousins.
Yeah.
I have a lot of cousins. On my mom's side of the family, I'm smack in the middle, and I'm the oldest girl. So I have nothing but older boy cousins on my mom's side. But I'm the youngest. I get all the cute and happiness and lovey-doveys over there. So a majority of my cousins at the time were already in junior high or high school. So there was a very big age gap between us. So for me, they were like, wow, you're so cool. Because they're so much older than me. They're already doing cool stuff. Some of them were driving. And I remember, I think it was like in 5th grade. It was one of the last family reunions that I went to. I saw my cousin after like a few years. And he had just passed puberty. So he looked pretty damn good. He looked hot. He was really good looking. Because my dad's side of the genes has a lot of good looking family members. I was like, I hate the fact that we're cousins. I hate the fact that we're cousins. I remember a split thought in my mind was just like, I hate the fact that we are blood related because he just looks so cute. I wouldn't be able to crush on him if I had to. So I feel that for girls, I feel that if the older brother in the relationship is like in the friendship relationship, I think that because of those traits, they're like you said, they're older. They take care of you anyways. Like I feel that girls, they would take care of them in a very motherly way. But boy cousins, they're very protective, or like cousins, boy brothers. So like, I don't know how big of an age gap there is between Lily's best friend and her older brother. But if you guys can't drive yet, he's going to drive you guys around. He's going to take you to the movies. He's going to be doing all of that stuff for you. Kind of what a boyfriend does. If you date an older boyfriend.
I feel like, and I think another reason is because you feel comfortable around them, and I feel almost safe, I guess. Because you know that person's not gonna like, hurt you or do bad things to you,
And and obviously you're going to know their habits as well. If you've been best friends with your friend for many years, then you've probably seen his past girlfriends. You've heard, well, obviously it says it here. Every time her best friend sees a girl for her brother, she hates him. She hates her. And she keeps telling her friend how much she hates her and how she wishes they would break up. But I feel that it is a hard situation. You are in between a rock and a hard place. But is there a C? Can I put a C in here? Convince the brother to make the first move. That would be a lot easier.
That's true.
C, convince the brother to make the first move.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different than me saying that I like your brother. Then saying, by the way, your brother confessed that he liked me. What should I do? It's just very different.
It's just different.
It's the same situation, but it's very different.
I think I would go with C if there was a C.
If there's a C, but there's not. So choose friendship over your love, or A, talk about it. So Sooyoon, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, this is so hard.
So hard.
Because if it doesn't turn out good, she's gonna kind of be awkward with her friend. Gosh, what? Can you go first? I can't choose. I can't choose. I can't choose.
I think it's A and B together, but more so A. So I would talk to my friend. So if I fell in love with my best friend's brother, because Sooyoon and I were talking about it. If my friend said no, I would give up on it. But I would have to ask first.
That's true.
So I would not necessarily try to make her understand, but I would talk with her and then make my first move.
Okay, yeah.
So A.
I'll go with A because I think even if you don't tell her and you just kind of go with the flow, I think your best friend's still gonna notice it, and things are gonna get awkward anyways. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why is she doing that?
Yeah. I mean, in the end, you're gonna choose your friendship.
Right.
But I feel that your friend is not going to be able to say, "How dare you like my brother?" You can't tell somebody, "How dare you like someone?"
Yeah.
But they could say, "How dare you make the first move without telling me?"
Right. That's really
Yeah,
that's
I think that
crucial.
that's very crucial
Yeah.
in the relationship.
Right.
So liking somebody is not the fault.
Right.
It's acting on it that I feel is the biggest part. I mean, even in a marriage situation,
Right.
if the girl or the guy in the marriage situation starts having feelings for somebody, I think that's natural. It's
Right.
animal instincts, it's hormones. But do you make a move on it or not?
Yeah. Right.
Do you act it out? Do you actually break your vows? That is a choice.
Right.
You can't just say, "Oh, I just fell in love with her." that's the weakest excuse ever.
Right.
But I think first thing is to talk to her. So not necessarily force her to make her understand, but at least talk to her, and then go out with him or not go out with him or do whatever. So what about our listeners? I know that we do have a lot of different age groups. We have some mamas here.
Right.
We have some dads. We have married couples. We have not children, young adults. I don't think we've had anybody under the age of 15 on our message board. If we did and you didn't speak up, I apologize. But yes, young adults. We have people who are from around the world, from different backgrounds, from non-Asian, Asian, many different
I mean,
backgrounds.
sometimes I'm really impressed at how different they are and how much experience that they've had, and their advices are really good. Yeah. So
the advice that you give are stuff that we cannot think of.
Yeah.
So we encourage you to send in your opinions, even if it's not A or B. But for the fun sake of having a Polaroid from Sooyoon, Team A or Team B is chosen after the show. And the winning team that gets the most advice. So if Team A got the most advice, or if Team B got the most advice, then one of you gets a Polaroid of Sooyoon.
yeah.
Yay! So, participation is crucial if you want Sooyoon's Polaroid.
Yeah.
Now, it's either Team A to talk about it, which Sooyoon and I have seemed to have agreed on, or is it B to just cut it cold turkey, don't even attempt anything and just keep your friendship?
Yeah. I feel like that would be hard too, though. Yeah.
Once you start liking somebody, it's gonna show anyways.
Right. It's gonna show. It's gonna obvious. I think your best friend might already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
She might already know.
Right.
And she might be testing you.
That's scary.
I doubt that.
Right.
But I think in any relationship, you can tell when somebody likes somebody. It's really hard to hide that.
Yeah. Especially when you guys are best friends.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
You guys talk about everything. And if you've been best friends for a few years, you'll probably know what they're thinking just by looking at them.
Right.
I know that RP, just the three of them sitting next to each other, like if they look at each other in the eyes, they know what's going on.
Right.
They don't have to necessarily talk about anything. So, Team A, Team B, let's help Lily out from Mexico and see what's going on there. Aaron is going to be making an appearance on our show, even though he's going to be coming out in the second hour. Newest is singing Introduce me to your sister. We're going to take a listen to this track, and we'll see you guys after this with our second story. This song is exactly what Sooyoon was talking about earlier when we first started reading the story about how young guys have this fantasy of asking their friends to introduce them to their sister. Let's move on to Malaysia. I'm guessing that we pronounce her name Nerlania. I hope.
Farhana. Okay.
There we go. Yes.
Hi, Sooyoon, and hello, Isaac. How are you doing? My biggest concern is that I'm on a quiet side. I rarely talk with people, even with family, friends, or anybody. I have been listening to their conversation, and I couldn't join because mostly I have nothing to talk about, and I don't even know how to continue the conversation. I want to change this side of me because I have trouble when I want to talk with people, and I end up getting shy. Help me. Thanks, guys.
We've seen a lot of our listeners that seem to be a lot on the quiet side, and they just don't know how to break the ice.
Yeah.
Sooyoon used to be this way.
Right. I used to be really quiet. I still am, but...
Oh, yeah, you are still a little bit on the quieter side. But, and I've said this a few times, and my listeners still don't believe me, I used to be very shy. What? Really? Isak? Shy? Huh? Yeah. Up until 5th grade, I cried a lot in school. If I think about it now, I never want a daughter like me. I was the most difficult child in the world.
Really?
I cried a lot. I still remember the first day of kindergarten. I even went to preschool at the same school.
Yeah.
But the first day of kindergarten, I flipped out. As soon as I still remember this. As soon as I walked onto the courtyard, I started bawling my eyes out. And then my best friend, who ended up becoming my best friend for the next 5 years, 6 years, she was walking in right with me at the time. And it was great that she was there for me because she was a tomboy. If anybody picked on me, she's like, don't mess with Ida. But I was really quiet when I was younger. When did this change? Junior high, it changed because I started thinking very differently. I gained a lot of confidence in myself. I don't know how or why this happened, but it just kind of happened. And I just started saying no to people. Oh, I just started saying no to people. I just realized that. Yeah, I just started saying no. So, like, if I was kind of wandering into a clique and then... Because I was in the cool girl group for a while. I didn't like them. They're mean. They teased
mean
people
girls.
and it was just awkward and mean. So towards the end of the school year, I changed cliques and I was with the, quote, unpopular girls. I liked it.
Yeah.
Because we didn't judge each other.
Right.
We talked about a lot of different things and it was a lot more comfortable. I feel that maybe our listener... Okay, how to open up? I don't know. I'm clueless. I talked about myself trying to find an answer here, but...
I actually talked about how shy I was like yesterday with my staffs in our company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I had to do some homework for this certain class. And I was talking about how I used to really, really like being by myself. Starting from like age 8 or 7.
Oh.
Yeah, because my parents would go out to work and my brother... We have 5 years age gap, and he would play with, his older, brother friends. Yeah, and I would always stay home, just watch TV or like, play with like Lego or like read books, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And my mom would come back home like late at night, and she'll feel really bad about it, and she would kind of like hug me, and she's like, "Oh, see you, like I'm so sorry that I can't spend time with you," but I was like, why? Oh I'm like so happy, like you can't, you don't have to come back home today.
Like, you can stay out longer, Mom.
Right. I was just that kind of person, and this kind of lasted until I think middle of high school. Yeah, and I didn't really care about people. I feel like I guess I didn't really care about relationships. I just didn't care about people. I didn't, I would say hi and I would be nice to people, but I had like a big wall, I guess, around me. And this also, like, when I meet my fans, I'm like, oh, hey, how are you guys doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was start a conversation with them. But before, in the beginning, I would just kind of freeze, and I would actually hide in the car. When James and Moon is like saying hi to our fans, I'll be so shy that I would just like hide in the car, And I think I broke that as I aged, I guess. And when you figure out that there's so much more things, how important relationships are with people, and how it's so chuck. It's like a good memories when you're having interactions with people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think time would help too. Yeah.
On top of that, at least you're wanting to make the
Right,
difference.
right.
They always say in those step courses for addiction to admit that you have a problem. That's the start of everything.
Right.
Right now, I think that you wanting to change the fact that you're quiet is already, you're halfway through the door.
Yeah.
It's not even having your foot in the door. You're already halfway through the door.
Yeah.
You're there. You just need to kind of now walk through
Right.
and start mingling with people. We've been giving you tips about this through our other listeners, whereas finding common denominators in the conversation is helpful.
Yeah.
I know that when I talk with my cousin in the States, it's different with each cousin. So when I talk to my older cousins, I talk about life. Which is like, how's life? You know,
That's life.
are the bills getting paid? You know, that kind of stuff. With my younger cousins, like, they're all different. So one of my guy cousins, for a while, he was working at a e-cigarette shop. And so a couple of friends of mine, they've been trying to quit smoking. So I asked him a couple questions about that. You know, you try to find common denominators. My younger cousin, he loves video games. So I've been asking him, is there any new video games that you've been totally into these days?
Right.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So you try to find common denominators. Questions are helpful.
Right.
Admitting the fact that you don't know something is very cool.
Yeah.
So if your family's talking about something that you don't know about, just ask the questions. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Could you please let me into the conversation?
Right.
I do not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. And actually, a lot of Korean people do this. I know it might not be like the best case, but they go to church or temples, you know, and they kind of like get into a religion, or you know, or it doesn't have to be church, you know, just anywhere where a group of people meet, you know. And I guess for example, church is good because they talk about, they have same common denominator, which is Bible, and they talk about you know God and stuff like that. And I guess maybe like a James goes to work out like what's that called, like where they fight and stuff, MMA.
Okay.
And you guys can talk about that.
Oh.
I guess, yeah, and making a group of friends at a certain place, I think it's easier to make a good common denominator.
Yeah. We've said in the past, for a lot of our listeners who wanted to make friends on campus, join cliques and clubs and bands and stuff like that. If there's a K-pop meeting in your college or neighborhood, you can go join them.
Yeah.
Like Sooyoon was saying, for religion, especially for church, they have youth group. And I've noticed that even if you're like past 30, you're part of youth group. Because you become like youth group leader. So you're like youth group since high school. But I mean, you meet new people and there's common denominators. Like for me, I know that I spent a good lonely few years in Korea at church. Church was a big part for me. I don't think it was so much for the religion. Because I was born into a Christian family. So for me, that's the only religion that I've ever known. It's not just going to actually study and pray and whatnot. It was honestly, for me, a chance to be safe.
Right.
Feel not alone, feel at ease. And then afterwards, we'd go for pizza, we'd go bowling. The guys would go play basketball at the the Han River.
Right.
And then we'd just hang out, and then we'd go eat. And then it would be times that I would not feel lonely. And then, you know, there's common things that you find out within each other.
Right.
So I feel that whether it be hobbies or religion or there's got to be somebody in your family that has something similar to you.
Right. I mean, you guys are family, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you're blood related, so there's got to be something.
Yeah.
That appeals to you.
Yeah. I think it actually needs practice, though.
Oh, yes, most
in the
definitely.
beginning, yeah.
Talking and your personality in general, I think it is something that does need a lot of practice. Speaking of which, I had another shy moment just to help you feel better. I was in the States 6-7 years ago. Oh my God, so long ago. My cousin was doing PR for a movie firm at the time, and he had to go to a meet and greet. So what it was it's kind of like Actors Night here in Korea at the Busan Film Festival, Peoebam. It's where all the directors come out and they meet the new talent. And so I took a couple of my Korean business cards, and I went to this meet and greet with him. So he's obviously there doing PR work for his firm, but I was kind of there as the talent. I couldn't approach people. I honestly could not go up to people in English, my first language, and say, hi, this is my name, this is my business card, I'm an actress, singer, model, whatever. If you have any interest, call me. It's very easy to do that, but I could not do it. I freaked out. The entire night, I was freaking out. And my cousin was just like, you're a celebrity in Korea. Why are you nervous? I'm just, I don't know. It's freaking me out. Put me on a stage and make me sing a song right now, I'll do it. But to meet and greet with these people, I cannot do it.
Actually, I think it's more, for me, it's more difficult to kind of connect in like a small stage. I mean, get on smaller stage than bigger stage. I mean, playing like 4,000 people like is no problem, but playing in like 100 people is more nervous.
Me too. It's so nerve-wracking. The smaller the people, the more attention I'm getting.
Right. That's true.
If I'm if I'm like doing a huge concert at like the Olympic Stadium, I don't care. 99% of the people don't care that I'm up on stage. They're waiting for Beast to come out, or 2 p.m. to come out, or GOT7 to come out, or Sistar to come out. But in a small area, all eyes are on me. It freaks me out. So you're not alone. Sooyoon and I, who have been in this business for years, Sooyoon's been going up on stages for more than 10 years now. Same here. I still get nervous, and especially in small crowds. So everybody gets anxious and everybody gets nervous when they talk to people. So just to kind of take baby steps to get over that, I think it'll help. Team A and Team B for Lily from Mexico about her situation with her friend and her friend and her friend's brother. In the meantime, we've got Ailey with I'll Show You 보여줄게, and we'll see you guys after this with our next story.
All right.
All right, so we're asking for A and B for our very, very cute Mexican listener, Lily. She has her best friend. The reason why I say cute is because it's adorable that she is falling for her friend's older brother. But she's falling, and it looks like the brother is also falling for her best friend's brother. Now, she hasn't told her friend yet, but what should she do? She's always heard her friend bad-mouthing all of her brother's girlfriends, so she's kind of afraid that something is going to happen. So, should she A, talk to her friend and do something about it, or not do something about it, or B, just forget about everything and just stick to her friendship? So what do you guys think? You tell me. Now we're moving on to our last story for today. It is asked to be left anonymous.
All right, from the USA. I started working at this company a little over 2 months ago, and around the time I started, a fellow male coworker of mine asked me out to coffee. Thinking that he was just being friendly, I readily agreed. Everything was going great until he asked me whether or not I was in a relationship. I responded that I was in a relationship, and I still am, and he promptly changed the subject. Now he's actively pursuing me to be in an open relationship with him when he knows that I'm still in a relationship. When I replied that I wanted to stay faithful, he laughed in my face and walked away. He has a reputation as a player. That's the nice word. And he's also very pushy and arrogant. I would rather not tell my boyfriend about this entire thing because I know that he'll want me to be removed immediately, but I also don't want to file a complaint to my superior because I had only recently begun working and I don't want to make a bad impression. within my first 6 months. I'm stuck. Do I tell my boyfriend? Do I need to file a complaint? And all help will be much appreciated. 이 사건이에요, 수윤 오빠.
This guy's a bit... Okay, I'm not going to be able to say that without going off my standards here on my show.
Uh-huh.
I'm passing this to you first.
So, I mean, I know, I guess, what an open relationship is, right? Open relationship is was that like was that a common thing, or because the first time I saw it was when Facebook happened.
that was a choice.
Right, and that was a choice.
Okay, no. The only open relationships that I've ever seen are in dramas.
Right.
So, I mean, I've been living in Korea for 15 years now. So, most of my relationships that were even considered a relationship, not cooties and holding hands in junior high.
Yeah.
We're all here. So the dating pool in the U.S. for me, honestly, is something that I've only learned from movies. And my choice of movies are not that good. So my definition of open relationship, in my opinion, is it's a sorry excuse for not breaking up, in my opinion. So from what I've seen, open relationship pretty much means that you are having an intimate relationship with other parties while you're still in a relationship with somebody else.
Right.
That is what society has given as an open relationship. Now, if that's the case, like I said, I feel that it is a very sorry excuse to not break up with your significant other.
Right. And I don't know. I just don't get the
concept
of it, because when you're dating other people, when you're like going out and meeting very intimately with other people, I think that kind of already breaks the concept of a relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, everybody has a different line of cheating. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of a cheating line here, that could be talked about.
Yeah.
Sooyoon, in your opinion, what is cheating? I know that it's not black and white, but still, in your opinion, what would you be okay with? With your female significant other, or what would be crossing the line you in your personal mind thinks of it as cheating?
Well, if I guess any form of skinship touching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're okay with your female girl, so your girlfriend hanging out with non-female but guy friends, just the two of them?
It would be, I wouldn't be happy, but I would understand.
Okay. Okay.
But then, if anything else happens,
okay,
that I would feel like that's cheating.
Okay. So for you, obviously, what about texting?
Texting, I feel like it's okay.
Unless it's to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Unless there's like, you know,
I love you or anything.
Unless, I mean, but there's obviously flirtatious text.
Right.
So I mean, yeah. Okay. So
I think, I would have to be in that situation right now, but usually I'm very open-minded about, stuff like that, but I think it matters how much I like that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason is because the guy obviously is arrogant. The guy that's pursuing her.
Right.
Every single word that I can think of for him right now is something that I cannot say on air. So there's no way for me to describe this guy. Now, I'd have to say that I would take it as a compliment if I was in her shoes. So I'm in the office. I just started working here at Arirang.
Yeah.
It's only my second month, but somebody working here is doing this to me. Obviously, it's going to be very uncomfortable.
Right.
And it's going to be something that's very awkward. First thing is, do not tell your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Don't tell your boyfriend. And don't file a complaint either. Don't file a complaint. I feel that in this situation, it super sucks, but there's nothing really that you could do. Last week we were talking about giving reactions to these people's actions. So all the reactions that you're giving them, right? You might want to rethink it.
Yeah.
So let's say like he comes over and you're just like, all right, come on now, dump your dude for me. Be like, all right, and just go on.
Right.
Just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna break up with him just to go to you. Oh, you're such a good-looking guy that I can't wait to date you.
Right.
If you throw some sarcasm at him, I think he's gonna be like, yo, where did that come from?
Yeah. I think that's cool. Yeah. I think you have to be straightforward that you have no interest, 0% interest.
Yeah. Because if you try to outbeat him at his own game and you try to bring on like, yeah, if he starts hitting on you, like let him hit on you, I think it's going to go way too far, way too fast.
Yeah.
So give him I think not a taste of his own medicine, but just be like, oh yeah, you're so good looking. Like I can't wait to start dating you.
I think that's that's really good sarcasm right there.
It's gonna hurt his ego, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna be like, oh, you don't think I'm good looking? You know, he's gonna be like, oh, you don't want to come to me anymore. But because Sooyoon is not this type, he's not in this type of friendships either. Some of our other male listeners, I want your opinion. Yeah. Like Hillen, Ben, Tang, a lot of our other male listeners, give us your opinion.
Right.
If you are a guy in the office and a guy like this is, because I know that there's that one dude at the office.
Oh, I've seen so many.
Yeah. They think they're Mr. Macho Man. They've got, they're the and they've got it all. Like all these girls want them, and they got that ego from high school. I think they need a piece of humble pie. So how would you, in your perspective, feed them some humble pie? I think that would help us Uber a lot. Uber a lot. Because it's kind of hard for the girls because, we do feel like we're in a rock and a hard place. Because it's like we try to do something and it ends up being worse if a guy is kind of trying to do this.
And I've seen so many cases where when this happens, usually like the girl, even if she has a boyfriend, when the relationship becomes kind of shaky, I think the girl kind of tends to be like, oh, maybe that guy who was hitting me, like maybe I should just kind of
that's very dangerous.
Yeah,
very, very dangerous.
But that's very dangerous because this guy obviously
doesn't respect her enough.
Right. That doesn't respect the girl. He just wants to
try
player. So he's a player. So.
Exactly.
He just wants to play.
All right. Well, we're way over time. I think our conversation got way too heated. So Team A and Team B is going to be posted on our message board and the winner itself. Check the announcement board. Our last track for today is 9 Muses with No Playboy. See you.
No Playboy.
I'll see you next year.
Oh, gosh, no.
I'll see you next year. Bye.
All right. See you guys next year. Bye.